Happy Friday and welcome to today's LinkedIn Live. It's Vimis and Tron. How are you doing, Melissa?
I'm great. How are you, Rick?
Hey, I'm ready for the weekend. It has been a week to remember. We've just got a lot going on. Everybody does. We've got our peers are rocking Cloud Field Day concurrently. We're rocking LinkedIn Live. We've already got a great crowd hanging in there. So I hope you have a great weekend. We've got a good crowd. Let us know where you're from. One of the things I really love about LinkedIn Live is what do I call it? What's the word I made up?
I don't remember.
The Mapplication.
Mapplication. Okay.
That's right. We got to light up the Mapplication. So drop in your country. It's bare now. We've got Ohio, New Jersey, Georgia in the U.S. We've got Romania. We've got our team, Alina, helping us out operating the event. So drop us your country or your U.S. state or major city, and we will light the map and make it green. Good stuff. So, Melissa, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about one of my absolute favorites, and we're going to talk about not backup. We're not actually talking about backup today. No. We're going to talk about recovering your data.
Recovering your data. Why would you ever want to do that?
I don't know.
Well, believe it or not, we even have content prepared for you. So let's jump over to the screen share here real quick. And, first thing, many recovery scenarios. I'm actually going to give you a little bit of history. We just released V11, as you know, and we're turning it up to 11. That's not totally new for everyone. I don't know, 200 plus new enhancements, right? Across cloud, software as a service, apps, virtual and physical. That's the whole Veeam story. But most of that is this one little bitty product we have called Veeam Backup and Replication. So it's been a huge release. We're still promoting it, still going through some of the new things, but I thought I'd do something a little cheeky, Melissa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we know that there's a lot of recovery scenarios. So I want to go through some history. So I'm going to start with a quiz.
Right.
So in V7, I first had the idea to do this infographic of how many recovery scenarios are in V11. So for those of you on the line, drop in your guess. How many recovery scenarios do you think were in V11? And Melissa, I'll take your best guess.
Oh, this was before my time.
Yeah.
So let me think. I'm going to go 12 seems kind of low. 38, I'm going to go with it's not the highest. I'm using my multiple choice reasoning skills here. I'm going to go with a solid 28.
Solid 28. So close.
Oh.
So close. It was 26. So let me break this down a little bit. We used to do a lot of these infographics that kind of would tell you all the different recovery scenarios from the one agentless backup. And, my thought was, especially at the time before we had the agent for Windows integrated and stuff like that, it was so many recovery scenarios from one agentless backup. I mean, no one could touch that. And still to this day, as we build it through, you're going to be blown away.
So what year was V7, Rick?
Oh, boy. I want to say that was 2014. Oh, boy. We got the boss watching. We better behave.
Uh-oh.
But, yeah, I think it was 2014 for V7 or 2015.
That's pretty good.
Can't quite remember.
For that long ago.
Yeah. And the thought was I liked where we're going with this. So what I wanted to do is build on it, almost make it like a calendar. So let's go to the next level here. Okay. So Melissa and attendees, how many recovery scenarios were in 9.5? This was the base release, not update 4.
Okay. Between 7 and 9.5, there's no way it's 34. That's too close to 26. That's not happening. Veeam innovates way more than that.
Okay.
42, that's a trick answer, I feel like, because 42 is supposed to be the answer to everything. I don't think it is. I'm also going to eliminate the highest again, so I'm going to go 57.
You are going to guess correctly with 57 because you know what? I actually skipped one. I couldn't find. It's on my old computer at home. It's not like I didn't lose my data, but I had a V9 one that was the 42. But anyways, you are correct. It was 57 with the base of 9.5. And this is really where we started to get into you're seeing the grid, almost like a calendar. And
my friend Enterprise Manager is there.
Yeah, Enterprise Manager made it to the party, and I had to go steal a whole bunch of old logos to get this stuff. I had to go deep into the archives. In fact, I even found one I couldn't find, but I have it at home.
All those Explorers. That's pretty good stuff right there. I love the Explorers.
Cool. So yeah, the thought is having many ways out of recovery. This is really why we do this, okay? And let me explain what I mean by that. is you have a lot of things that can happen bad with your data, right? I mean, I have nothing but evidence of bad things happening to good hardware.
Yeah, terrible things happen to
Yeah,
lots of different things. It might not be your whole data center. It could just be that, I don't know, some important person lost their Excel file or put in something wrong or broke it or who knows what, right? And you don't always need to bring a whole VM back either.
There is the phenomena called over recovery.
Yeah, don't need it.
All right, we got a word from the producers that the application is ready. So let's take a look.
All right, let's see who's watching.
Oh, we got Texas, New Hampshire. I know somebody up there. California, Brazil, Kenya, Germany. Oh wow, a lot of good. America's representation. North Carolina, welcome.
Pretty good.
Connecticut, I like it. In the main of Europe, we've got Italy, Denmark, Germany, Istanbul, Kenya. That's actually not in Europe. Romania, Belgium. We've got Dallas. There's Kenya. There's Tunisia. So welcome everyone.
And
India.
Apparently Czech Republic too.
Czech
Republic, Rick.
That's right. It's tough. They come in quick. You're coming in quick. We're all watching. India, Pune. Welcome, Gaurav. Awesome. Tennessee, Dan. Sorry, we'll get you there. In France. It's a lot coming in, but definitely let us know where you're coming from. But, recovery is the topic. And when we think about recovery, Melissa, over recovery is something I think people need to worry about. You don't want to recover too much data.
Exactly. Especially if you don't need it, right?
Yeah.
That's going to impact, I don't know, everything. It's going to waste your time, right?
Well, you might incur.
Go and grab the file. Be done with it.
Yeah, you might incur other data loss. That's the kind of the other angle. And what I mean by that, worst example, I like to gravitate to the new SQL Server database instant recovery.
That's pretty good.
You can recover one database, not the whole database server, because other databases might be impacted.
And it could be big, right?
That was the history. Let's get closer to the reality. All right, I'm moving on down.
All right, I can't play this game anymore because I know this answer.
Oh, that's true, because this is actually the current one. Let's go for the chat. Now, I do have
let's go in the chat.
Couple of seconds delay here. For any of you watching on the line, V10, which as of 2 weeks and 2 days ago was the latest and greatest, but we've moved on to V11, and we're going to get to that here in a second.
We've turned it up to 11.
Well, there you go. How many recovery options, for those of you watching on the stream, how many recovery options do you think V10 had? Got some answers. Okay, Titus, you win. You win not a prize, but you win.
You don't win anything. You win a shout out.
First answer. You got it, Titus. Indeed. So let's go over to the next one here. That's right. 83. Version 10 had over 83 recovery scenarios. And it's just so powerful when you think about all the different things. And, it's situational. If I zoom into PowerShell, or if I look at pulling things off from tape, and the agents kind of get conflated into backup and
yeah, and don't forget network shares, right? That was basically one of the big features of V10, right? NAS backup out of the gate. Here you go, 4 recovery scenarios with a brand new technology. Like, how cool is that?
No, it was a big deal. I think NAS is a new data source, and to recover actually told a broader story of, like, it's really starting to function like a platform. I mean, we have a lot of products, but so much of it has its heart and soul here from Veeam backup and replication. So yeah, Danny, you got it right too. That one you got as well. But we're on the edge of something new. 2 weeks and 2 days to be specific, and that would be V11, which just came out. So now here's the deal. I got to give credit where credit is due.
Yes, absolutely.
This is an idea that I started a couple of years ago, and Andrew on our team, who's presenting live over at Cloud Field Day right now, actually, he helps drive this, right? So V11, this is the newest one, hasn't been seen yet in the public. We're going to be putting it out on the blog here in a bit, but I'm going to open it up. I don't even have a multiple choice. So for the attendees.
Yeah, everybody guess. Just
drop in some numbers. So here's a hint. It's higher than 83. So you have that.
But how much higher is it?
I don't know. Well, actually, I do know.
But we know, but
what do y'all in the collective plural? What do we all think is how many recovery scenarios with V11? And before I forget, drop in we got some great activity going with the numbers, but also let us know.
Yeah, let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, because I'm diverting the interaction, not just from the location, but to some of the guesses here. So, yeah, Danny, you can guess. You might even guess right. But good guess there, Dan. We got Dan and Danny going after it here. This is really interesting. So a couple of the numbers are coming in here. Good. Wallace, nice one. Ooh, McKinday, I like it. Not quite. All right, but let's show it here. We do have a little delay, so I might not have got all of your numbers in, but it's 91. And I'm still having fun. This is awesome. This is an incredible number. Andrew, when he breaks this down, what do, Melissa? We break it down across categories. So let's take a look at this.
I just want to pick out one thing, because this chart is getting big. There's a lot of way to recover, and people might be sitting here thinking, wow, like 91 ways to recover. That sounds really difficult. No, it's not. Everything kind of uses the same, might not be the same interface, but everything works the same way logically in Veeam. I like to tell everybody, if you've configured a backup job, you've configured a NAS backup job, a CDP protection job. You've configured everything, right? Veeam is very, very simple to use. And I don't want people thinking, oh, there's 91 different ways to do something. How am I ever going to wrap my head around it? It is super simple. And, the UI walks you through all of it.
Yeah, I like to say that nothing in Veeam, especially Veeam backup and replication, nothing in Veeam backup and replication is more than 7 clicks of a wizard.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, and now the Vedro, the orchestrator product, does have some areas where it'll exceed that, but it does some really advanced.
It's about, the worst case scenario is about 10 clicks to make a DR plan, so it's not that far behind. I'm gonna go and count when we're done here.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's acceptable and that makes sense. But when you talk about day-to-day backups, day-to-day recoveries, day-to-day sure backup recovery verification, which we should be doing anyways, that rule applies there. And I think it's important that when you look at this, and we're soon going to publish this out in the blog, it's my goal that every administrator prints this out and has it at their desk or at their ready otherwise, because it's like, oh goodness, what's going to happen now? And I printed it out. Well, I got a lot of stuff on my wall, but it's over here, and that was kind of my logic, and I wanted something cool, a desk resource, etc. There are a couple of times where I used to hand it out at in-person events, nice laminated, high quality print and something like that. But if you walk through the storage, cloud, extra and automation, tape, service provider technologies, application explorers, it's just so comprehensive. It's like you never know what's going to happen when things go wrong. But and I realize you might be like, oh, what does that actually even say? So that's why we have a zoom in. So let's go take a look at one of these in particular.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is
pretty much table stakes, right? Very general, simple. Do you have a favorite on here, Rick?
That's my question to you, because I haven't made my favorite yet. I was going to have you pick a favorite first. So which would you pick as a favorite?
I will take Secure Restore for 1,000, please, Rick. So the ability to run a virus scan as you're restoring a VM to make sure if you're trying to recover from some kind of cybersecurity event, you're not recovering an infected machine. And if infection is detected, you have a couple options. Throw it away, go to an earlier restore point, or start it up with the network disconnected so you can dive in there and maybe do a little forensics or whatever you need to do. That is my favorite on the list.
I'll give you 1,000 terabytes for that answer. I will take the conversion, the second one, V to V.
Yeah, that's a close second. That's one of my favorites too.
And let me explain what that is. A lot of people actually really don't know that that's a capability. You can take any image-based backup and restore it to VMware and Hyper-V now. You can also restore that to Amazon EC2 and Azure VM. This is so powerful. I mean, you could be in a situation of you have nothing but your backups and you need to restore somewhere, whether it's to the cloud, whether it's to a new hypervisor, whether it's to a hypervisor you didn't know you were going to be using, aka Windows 10, for example. So there's incredible portability, especially in maybe unforeseen circumstances. But I'll also twist it a little bit differently. The Windows 10 hypervisor, which is an instant recovery technique, that could also be more of a, dare I call it, ad hoc data lab. You know what I mean? So I could almost do some
Okay,
like
okay,
kind
I'll
of
bite
on
that.
my
I'll bite on
own.
that.
Yeah, on my own little playing around, right? So the flexibility is so strong here. And actually even first class disk recovery for one of those vSphere disk capabilities. I'm not even like super VMware. I'm actually not allowed to play VMware anymore in
No,
our
he's
lab.
not.
I'm only Hyper-V now, but that apparently it's a thing, and we can do that. So if you're using it, we're there. So let's go to the next section here. Now this is one that I think you like a little bit as well, and that's
Yeah, yeah,
agents. You
yeah.
know, let's see. I'll pick one. Well, actually, you can pick first, and then I'll pick one as a favorite.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go and pick what you don't think I was gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Agent for Mac, because Agent for Mac is the newest agent in V11, and now we can protect all those Mac-based end user devices, right? So that can be really handy. I can't tell you how many times I've like almost dropped a cup of coffee on my laptop in the last year, or I have, but I didn't get an important part of the laptop and I survived it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people less fortunate than me out there. So I'm going to go Agent for Mac, which is probably not what you expected me to say at all.
That was completely what I expected you to pick,
Really?
actually. Yeah, yeah. I will go with the P2C conversion again. The portability,
Yeah.
and P2C, actually, it's kind of funny. I went a different direction on Twitter last night. P2C or V2C, I'm thinking physical and virtual to cloud, but apparently that means to container. So I totally took the
Oh. Oh,
conversation.
okay.
It should be like V to K or P to K. That's
But
what it should
I
be.
like to call the agent restores too the P to V easy button, right? Because I've done lots of P to Vs in my day, and they're not fun.
Right.
Maybe they're like kind of fun with Veeam because I think Veeam is fun, but they're super simple. Let's go with that because people
Well,
might not buy that it's fun to restore things.
it solves a real problem, right? A
It
lot of times
does.
when you do a conversion of platform, it's because there's a reason. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
tired of the cost and the space, or I'm tired of it sitting here, and people do change platforms. There's an absolute good reason for it. And the recovery to the cloud, for example, so that would be P2C, you'd be surprised how efficient that is, especially when you're doing it in a planned mode, right? So live in a world of the scale out backup repository with
Yeah.
copy
Okay, we'll
mode.
schedule that to go do whatever.
Yeah, it's not schedulable. I'll give it, that's the one knock currently, but it
I
is
picked the wrong word. I apologize.
scriptable. You can script it,
Yes.
so you can have some fun that way. But it will do a lot better than organizations think. All right, final call for the map. We do have a couple more, so thank you for that. We've got Tennessee, France, Slovakia, Canada, Tennessee. Welcome. I'm going to Tennessee this year. Looking forward to that. A little bit of vacation. I love making the map green. I need a boom topic someday. We're just gonna just go green one of these days. Europe represented. UK. Thank you. Looks like a couple new places. My geography is failing me. I see Romania and Turkey still. Italy. I don't want to get them wrong. Netherlands. Nope, that's Belgium. I got it wrong. You can always help on this too, Melissa.
Oh no, all you, Ricatron.
Okay, awesome. But definitely, thank you both for thank you all for letting us know where you're from. So, our last segment here, something near and dear to Melissa's heart. She doesn't even know what it is. Storage snapshot.
Oh, of course, of course, of course.
So, tell me about Veeam Explorer for storage snapshots in general, because I think there's a huge opportunity that organizations need to know that this is a recovery type that they can enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, we talked a lot about storage snapshots this week, right? If you're using a storage array where integration is supported by Veeam, and trust me, you probably are, you can go on veeam.com and see the full list. You can actually crack in your storage snapshots with the Veeam Explorer, right? So you have all these different resource types directly from your storage snapshots. I love storage snapshots for like 1,000 different reasons. They're really great, but sometimes the native tools that might come with a storage array are a little weak in the ability to restore things and take a deep dive through and look around. Like if you've ever browsed your storage array in Veeam, it's like super simple. It's like 2 clicks and you can see all your stuff you could possibly need to restore. It's just another level of, I see Rick counting something on his fingers.
I was
Is
counting
it more
clicks.
than 2 clicks? How many clicks was it?
I think it is 2. I think
Yeah,
you're right.
I think it's 2 clicks too. Um, but it's really easy to kind of get that visibility into your storage, right? And because a lot of people actually choose Veeam to drive their snaps as well, they have a pretty aggressive snap schedule, which makes it really great for some of those, things you might have to restore. My favorite example here is probably like the guest files, right? Oh no, someone messed up some file someplace and whatever. Just go in and get it, right? Just crack right in there, get the file, restore it. We're done here. We don't even have to restore the whole VM.
Well, one step better is you don't have to go to last night's backup or however farther the recovery point is set. And you're, the Veeam Explorer for storage snapshots really is one of these techniques that will couple the highest the best, not the highest, the best RPO and the best RTO, because it's a very quick mechanism for recovery.
Yes.
I've spoken to some organizations who have used the second option there, the instant VM recovery, really to get
it's really fast. It's really, really fast. That's probably like my favorite thing about it.
The restores with applications across SQL databases and the Active Directory. And actually, I'm almost kind of upset because Andrew could have called SQL and Oracle different, and we would be at 92, and would call Exchange, SharePoint, 3 separate, and we would then be at 95.
All right. Well, you could technically separate instant VM and disk too, if you really want.
That's what I'm getting at. Maybe I need to audit this stuff a little bit more closely. But no, we do.
Well, we don't want to go too crazy with the numbers, right? Keep it kind of consumable.
Actually, what I really wanted was a prime number for this. But 91 is not a prime number. It's 13 times 7. So bummer. So anyways, well, we're going to start bringing it home. Thank you all so much for watching here. But I hope that this was informative and a little bit fun, a little bit different. This 91 ways to recover, great way that you can, be able to recover different types of data with Veeam. There are 3 things I want to highlight as a wrap up. 1, a trial. We've got a special link here. If you haven't used Veeam before, you can download a trial. That's one of the things that makes it so easy for Veeam audiences to try. Just go to veeam.com, download a trial or community edition. You can have it in your hands today and start playing with some of these. And actually, good shout to the storage snapshot integration for recovery. What edition is that included in, Melissa?
That is not included in community edition, unfortunately.
I thought it was.
I thought it wasn't.
The storage, the Veeam Explorer for storage snapshot should be. No. Okay. Whoops. We're live. I could have. I'm almost positive it is. We'll find out. I'll find out, and I'm going to update this chat or something because I swear it is. One thing I want to also highlight is a new thing that we have. So if you're looking at V11 and you want to get started, the Upgrade Center. I put a lot of work into this because I wanted to have a resource that kind of aggregates everything. Anton Gostev in R&D has a top issues tracker. There's the tech documentation. There's where you go to download. There's where you may need to get a new license. I've got one resource for that all to happen right there at the Upgrade Center. And coming soon, we're going to have the blog with the full downloadable resource for the 91 ways to recover. Awesome. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for joining me here today.
My pleasure, Rick.
And for those of you who want to join us Monday, we got a really interesting topic. We got a special one, actually. Michael Cade and Dave Russell are going to be bringing Kubernetes and cloud native stuff to the LinkedIn Live on the industry insights. I don't want to call it the Dave and Jason show. I got to give it its right name. But we've got Dave and Michael on Monday. So, Melissa, I hope you have a great weekend.
You too, Rick. And thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining on behalf of our producers and the global Veeam marketing team who brought this content to you. Appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend.